Hey, greetings everybody. I'm back here. It's a miracle. Write this down. This is 2 days in a row Skipper's making a video, but I'm doing it for a purpose. I have one of my lock sport friends on my chat channel. Well, not mine, it's the community chat channel, who's dealing with a Chinese Disc Detainer lock, who probably needs counter rotation to open it because you're tensioning from top of the keyway. If you've never dealt with counter rotation, it takes a little bit of a feel and kind of recognition that that's what you need to do, or at least test out in a lock. Now on this one, I've got the advantage of having a key, so I know that this one's going to require counter rotation. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 discs in this lock, and 3 of them are maximum turn locks, maximum turn on the disc. But just so happens the very top one is not. And so if you use top of the keyway tensioning, which the sparrows will be used to pick this one to show you counter rotation, you will have to counter rotate to pick that last disc, and you need to tension off one of these center discs. So let's just show you how to do that. So first of all, once you take it off the disc, turn clockwise, you're going to go through the stack and you're tensioning off that top disc, and you're going to be turning your pick through there. And this one does not have any gates. Most Chinese locks, or everyone I've come across, do not have any false gates in it. They all have gates. But as you turn them, you'll find that gate pretty easy, and you can go through and find that gate. And you'll find which ones are full cuts, because they'll go, all the way over. And like I said, I have advantage of the key, so I'm going to go through this one pretty fast, because I pretty much know where the gates will be, just for the aspect of showing you guys how to counter rotate to open the lock. And then when you get that last one, what you're going to do is, instead of this being your tensioner right here, you're going to make your picking tip your tensioner. So what you'll end up doing is you're grabbing this tip, you'll turn it until very tightly, and then you'll rotate this backwards until this falls into that last gate, which is shown right there. So let's do this thing right here, because working in a vise with counter rotation is so much easier than working with hand, because so much can happen in a hand. Well, if you have an RWB pick or something like that that has a round knob here that you're tensioning off of, it's a lot easier. The sparrows is a little more difficult to counter rotate out of the vise. That's why I'm going to throw it in the vise. But just to show you here we go. Here's the lock. Oh, wait a minute. Let me make sure all this is on camera for you. So anyway, here we go. You see it's all locked up. Let's put this thing all the way in so you can see the actual shackle opening. So put this in, turn the key, and you see opens right up, locks right back. Okay, so what we're going to do first is, of course, first rule is turn all those discs clockwise, so we can just throw our pick in and start picking. So now I've got my pick in here. I'm going to come right here. We have it here. And I'm just going to, I did a skipper mistake. Look at that pick. I've locked the sparrow's turning tip inside of it. So you can actually take it out, start again. Here we go. We'll start here. We'll go here. I'm just going to start the bottom of this stack. Now, because I know what that key looks like, I'm going to leave it right here on camera so you can kind of follow with me. And there's only 6 discs. We know that first disc that we find will be a full cut disc all the way to the right. So the only thing I'm going to do is make sure is that I did not miss it, and make sure it is turned all the way right. So now I'm going to go find my second disc right here, which I know I need to turn back a little bit. And you'll watch this thing just pop beautifully right into a gate right there. A lot of times that happens on these, and you can see I'm testing it to make sure, and I can definitely feel that loose turning right there, no more tensioning on that turn, and it's just in a beautiful gate right there. I know my next 2 are full turns by looking at the key, so I'm just checking those, make sure they're turned in. And then my third one, my one right here, which should be right next to my counter rotating disc, is right here. It shouldn't turn a whole lot, but it felt like it fall in. A lot of times I fall off the disc when I do that. And that is the case on this one, as I fell off when that thing fell right into that gate. Let me get back on that disc right here. And there we go. I fell off of that one, so let's just put it right back in, make sure we're in the gate. There we go. And it feels awfully smooth there on that turn. I can feel that disc spinning freely, just a little bit. Now, you know, what I'm doing is this picking tip has some gaps in between it. So I'm feeling a gap, then I feel when I touch the disc, and I feel that disc just turn a little bit, very easy. Then I go back the other way, I feel me touching the side of the disc again, and it just turns really easy this way, then it stops. So, you know, I'm not perfectly against it, but, you know, I can feel that that thing is definitely in a disc, in a gate. And so now, you know, all the discs should be set. So let's just show you counter rotation real fast. I'm gonna find one of those a full cut disc that I can tension off of. And let's hope that's one now. You can see I'm let off, but I'm tensioning the core from right here now. So now I can even just show you with this. Just take one little finger, turn it, and boom. You feel it, you hear that pop, and then you're gonna see this hand, my right hand. I'm not gonna take it off because I slip off the disc. You can see me open the core now, just like that. So, you know, this turns into your tensioner, and this turns into a picking tip at the very end. So if your padlock is not top tensioning, you can still use that top disc to tension and pick this padlock. But what you do is when you sit there and say everything feels like it's in a gate and it's not opening, go find that disc that turns, that's a max turn this way, that I did here in the middle. Now it's very easy because I have the key sitting in front of me and I want to do this for, you know, for speed. So I found one of those 3 discs that turn all the way this way. I grabbed it, I tensioned off of it, and then I turned my tensioner here into a picking tip and started picking back. And as soon as that disc found that gate, this part turned the core inside, because it's on a full turn disc, and opened the lock. So that's how you counter rotate. Now, anyway, I hope you found this video interesting. A little bit more detailed counter rotation. I'm sorry that this lock is not guttable, but it is a good tutorial on how to a disc that takes counter rotation. That is the key right here. You know, we can sit there and look at it a little bit closer. You can see 6 discs. First one here is a full cut, not a cut, full. I don't even know what you would call full cut. A full rotation disc, less than full, full, less than full. You know, halfway cut back, whatever you want to call it. It's these are Chinese locks. They are not very, very high security. This is probably considered a yellow belt lock, but it does require counter rotation, which does require knowledge and skill level to fill it. And again, if you had an RWB pick like this, and I just happen to have an alloy pick tip in this one, so I did not use it, but having a rounded one right here, you could do it in hand a whole lot easier than you can with the sparrows, because when I'm resting this, it just it's a little more awkward on this one. But again, you're talking about something that's a lot more pricier. It's something that's a lot more affordable to get into the lock sport market right here. And I love doing tutorials with this one because this is what most of us have. Now I will show this. This is just a 3D printed little end I put on it, spacer. I put on the end of it, and it is very, very, very useful. I recommend anybody who has a Sparrows to get one of these, because when you put it in, that thing's going to sit flush on it. You can adjust a lot better, and it tremendously helps on picking and keeping your picking tip straight inside the lock. So anyway, If you don't have something that can fit flush on it, you can see me picking other locks without this little 3D printed spacer on the front of that. It is a little more difficult, and you can see that pick moving up and down and all around. And anyway, didn't mean to get off on that tangent, guys. I hope you find this very useful. Hope it helps you get your lock open. I'll put it up here very quickly for you. And hey guys, thanks for watching. Have a good night.